Hey, 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 everybody. Hello, hello. Okay, we are live. I know we're running about a minute late. I apologize.
It's all her fault.
It was my fault, actually. I can't even lie. Let's give people a few minutes to come in here, make sure everything is working right. I think we should be good this evening. I'm seeing volume. Hey, you're on here.
I am?
Wow.
What do you mean? I was on here last week.
Oh, you're on there right now.
Oh, I thought you meant that. Okay.
So,
right.
Okay.
Take some water.
Yeah, in case you guys couldn't tell what we were going to talk about this evening.
Oh, yeah. And Coca-Cola Freestyle.
Yep.
Just a little quick Coca-Cola plug there.
Yep. Okay, it looks as though we're starting to get a couple people in here. That's fantastic. Deb is setting up. Okay, good. Glad things are working. Looking forward to seeing you guys over on the YouTube as well. Thank you so much for supporting both sides of this as we figure things out every week. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and get to talking a little bit. Obviously, we're going to talk about Halloween Horror Nights this evening.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do that, we wanted to bring up the video that we put out last week.
Yes.
Which was a lot of fun. And then just to kind of what we've been doing, because this is holiday weekend. Normally, we don't do these lives on Monday nights when it's holiday weekends, but it's been raining and miserable, and I figured people would probably be home and bored and want to talk to us anyway. So hopefully that works out.
Yep.
We try to be respectful of everybody's time on the holidays because obviously we want you guys to enjoy your family time too.
Yes.
But we figured with the rain and stuff, a lot of people that had plans this weekend were either canceled or they came home early.
Yep. I see a lot of campers on the way back home.
Yes.
Really early today.
Really early today.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of rain over here in Pittsburgh, and it just, like Megan said, it's just been a dreary day and just kind of
very blah. So, and I'm
wishing
sure
we were in Florida and at the Halloween Horror Nights. And
I know, because at least the rain there, it's nothing like here.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of expect it and you keep going.
Yep.
But anywho, our video last week, for those of you that got to see it, thank you. We were at Lakemont Park last week,
mm-hmm.
and we had so much fun, and I had a lot of fun putting that video together, actually.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, you got to check it out, because you got to see at least me getting the crap beat out of myself on the Leap the Gap.
Leap the Dips.
Leap the Dips. Oh, I always say that. Leap the Dips ride. And it's the oldest roller coaster that's operational still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, it felt very much.
You want to make sure that you see Nick when he is on it.
Yes.
Because his facial expressions going from
to, oh my God, to, oh wow, this is fun. Yeah. You'll have a
that
good
was
laugh
great.
that.
And then, of course, you can't forget us on the Skyliner and literally seeing my butt flying out of the seat. So if you haven't seen it yet, you definitely need to. See, Deb is even agreeing. It was a really funny video. Yeah. So you definitely get to see our personalities in this one a lot. So.
Well, I enjoyed making that video, and I know you're getting ready to put one out this week too.
Yeah.
It's of the Polynesian Village down in Walt Disney World, where you went down there and basically just did a walkthrough of the property itself, showing the beautiful pools they have, the views, the restaurants that's in there, the shopping that they have in there. You can't beat the Poly. The Poly is one of the best. I would say it's one of the best resorts on Disney property. Now, we haven't stayed at all of them yet, but someday, in my mind, being right there.
It's Mike's absolute favorite resort there.
Yes.
So,
and it's just, I don't know. It's something about like being transported to the Hawaiian Islands, man. It just feels good.
Yeah.
And it just, and you even stated in the video how good the resort smells.
It smells phenomenal. Mm-hmm. You can really sit back, relax, unwind, and that's hard for me to do.
Yeah.
He was laughing actually when we were watching the like at the final. I always make him watch what I edit at the very end to make sure I didn't miss something, because when you get into the nitty gritty and you're putting all these clips together and you're trying to make them work and jive and stuff, there's been a few times where he's been like, why is that in there? And I'll be like, because I forgot to delete it out, or I forgot to do this, or like I had a sound issue that he was like, that needs fixed. I'm like, oh yes. So
there's a lot of.
But he was laughing because he's like, you never relax on vacation. What's wrong with you?
She says she relaxes on vacation. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Anybody that's traveled with us, you guys know that she doesn't relax. She's constantly wanting to go.
I try.
The only time you relax is when your head hits the pillow at the hotel.
I sleep really good on vacation. I'll tell you that.
But anyway, yeah, it's going to be a great video. She said should have it up by Thursday.
It'll be up Thursday morning at 10 a.m.
Okay, so you guys need to check that out.
It's good to go. It just needs to be released at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning, and I still need to do the thumbnail. So never seen you relax. Well, Deb, I try. Yep. The last time, it's true story. The last time that I actually relaxed, was Christmas several years ago. The other boys were still little and Nick hadn't even been thought of, but we were relaxing in their house on Christmas, and they woke me up 2 hours later because I literally just fell asleep sitting up against their couch.
Yep.
Like I wasn't even sitting at the couch. I just fell asleep sitting against the couch. So that's why I don't relax, Deb, because I go.
You're constantly trying to do things, plan things, so yeah. Here in a couple of weeks when we go on vacation, we're going to go to Chickadee, Virginia, and then down the coastline, we're going to go into the Outer Banks. And I'm going to make sure that she takes a day or two and just turns her cell phones off, leaves the laptop in the room, and just relax and take it easy.
I will do my best.
But we'll probably
the wave therapy will help a little bit.
Yes,
I think.
We'll be bringing you guys alive, hopefully from Chickadee. So.
Yeah.
So
unless we decide to do a surprise live later in the week when we're in the Outer Banks.
Yeah, we might do too. So but just stay tuned, guys.
So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet or following us over on Facebook, make sure that you're doing that.
Yep. Well, I think we need to get into what we're here to talk about tonight. And obviously it's about Halloween and Halloween Horror Nights, because I'm supporting the Pumpkin King.
And you can't see it on the other, but I actually have my my queen on here, Bride of Frankenstein. Love this shirt. So thank you very much, Missy, actually for getting that for me at the end of HHN last year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we want to talk about Halloween Horror Nights. It officially kicked off.
Hold on. Before we get into that, don't forget, we are going to do a trip down to Universal Orlando in March. And if you guys are interested in going with us, you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah, definitely getting some interest. Some people are looking to do it with us.
Yeah, and we're very excited about the people that are looking to go with us. I think it's going to be a great time. A lot of some of them are actually old classmates of mine. So I'm actually really excited for them to go with us.
Old co-workers.
Yep, old co-workers. I think it's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to get everybody down there and for all of us to have some fun.
You want to hear some stories about us that maybe shouldn't be out there, but this would be the one to come on, because with the people that are coming, the stories are going to be rolling.
Oh, yes. So if you guys are definitely interested in doing that, you got to get a hold of us. You can comment below with your email address, or you guys can just get a hold of us.
Send us a private message.
Text
give
us.
Give us an email. Hi, Becky.
Hi, Becky.
My email is megan@plumcrazyadventures.com. That's going to be your easiest way of reaching out to me for that. You can also give me a call and leave me a voicemail, 724-617-2PCA. I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to answer it this week, just because I'm incredibly busy. We've got so many people that are looking to do cruising right now. Because again, I know I probably don't do this enough when I'm doing these lives, but I am a travel agent. I focus on family travel, but I've got two couples actually now looking to do Alaska. I have a family that's wanting to do a cruise. in March, buttoning up last minute travel plans for another couple that's going on Virgin Voyages next week. I've got another family going to Universal at the end of the month.
Don't forget about the family we just met today that's getting a hold of us this week about going on an all-inclusive down to Mexico.
Actually had a great conversation with them in a Sam's Club parking lot. So we talked to everybody about everything. So definitely make sure that you reach out to us. That way we can get your future plans booked because things are booking up. And that's kind of why we wanted to talk about HHN now, the very first weekend, because there is still some, it's not a lot, but there is some hotel availability and ticket availability so that we can get you down to Universal Orlando Resort and experience HHN. And I think this is going to be a great year for you to be able to do that.
Yeah. And so far the scare houses and the scare zones that I've seen so far have been phenomenal. I absolutely love the Pumpkin King. I mean,
the Pumpkin Lord. Oh my goodness.
The Pumpkin Lord, man. I'm supporting his colors tonight, man.
We're going to attempt to be as spoiler free as possible because we have seen videos of the walkthroughs of them themselves, of the
Thanks, Beck.
houses themselves. Obviously, scare zones we're probably going to be a little bit more lenient on talking about.
Yeah, the scare zones are not as scary as what some people think. I mean, they do try to do some jump scares and stuff, but they know a lot of the people that are walking around, they don't really want to scare them too bad because some of the people might be into it, but not into going into the houses and stuff and getting, like her and me. I'm not fond of it, but I mean, these little jump scares outside is a lot of fun to do. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
It's nice to see you join us tonight. But it's a lot of fun to be able to go around and just have some jump scares and every once in a while. I mean, they're not as bad as like when you're inside the houses and stuff and you're in a dark room and something jumps out and lights up at you at the same time. Yeah, that does scare you a little bit, but
we're definitely more the two couple that is like maybe a couple of houses we're really interested in doing. We miss you too, Kim. We definitely need to get together with you at some point.
Yes.
But we are definitely that couple that's more like the Beetlejuice house was right up our alley.
Yeah,
we would have loved that if we could have seen that last year. And this year, there's a couple of them that I would want to see.
Honestly,
we're also very into the set design.
Yeah, the set designs is just amazing. I would love to do the daytime tour.
Yes.
And go through and actually see everything lit up, and just see how they went into the detail of creating these houses and stuff. And
we're very into the production of it. Yeah, how does this work?
Behind the scenes, that's kind of what we really like. And it's really cool to see that kind of stuff. And they actually have a tour that you can pay for during the daytime and go through and see everything during the daytime.
I know.
And then you can go through at the nighttime and do the RIP tour and see everything in its glory, everything lit up and everything taken care of, the actors, scare actors and everything's in there. And it's
not in the RIP tour, the daytime tour. But
at nighttime you can go in the RIP tour,
and
you can see all the scare actors and everything in there doing that.
Yes. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I cleared that up.
She's paying attention too much to her water. So, was there only water in that, or you got something else in there?
It's just water.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just making sure you didn't slip some wine in there or something.
No, I don't have any wine. It's just beer.
Anyway,
which if I thought, I probably would have grabbed one of those tonight too.
Anyway.
Let's get into the houses first because that is what everybody really is curious about. And then if we have time, we'll get into the scare zones a little bit and also the two shows that they have for HHN this year. So the first house that I want to talk about is one of the intellectual properties, and that is Halloween. And the description on this, I actually took the time and I wrote down the descriptions of each one they have on their website. So this is their words, not mine. Come face to face with Michael Myers and go back to where it all began. Step into the terrifying moments from the 1978 horror classic, Halloween.
Yep. Okay, first of all, this one, I would actually go do this just because, look, I'm not a big horror movie fan kind of guy, but I like to see the nostalgic.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. I want to see
it's not all the
how they put everything together, and and I would love to go do this one. I think that one would be the one that I would probably, out of all 10 of them, that would be the one I'd want to do the most.
Yeah, this one, everybody is saying that it's an absolute must do. They hit it out of the park with this one this year. The other thing that I have read in the different Facebook groups that I'm a part of is there's a good possibility you might get lost in this one.
Yeah.
And Michael Myers actually took somebody's hand and led them back to the path because they were that lost. And
wow, talk about scaring the crap out of you.
Other people were talking about it and like how they got tapped on the shoulder by Michael Myers and he's going, go that way. And it's just like, oh my gosh, like, is he a good guy or a bad guy? Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's helping you get out of his maze. Like, it's interesting to me. So,
well, and to be honest,
I think that's really cool.
We've went through some mazes and stuff down there, and to be honest with you, it's not hard to get lost.
No.
Like, I mean, like, if you got a gap in between you and the next person in front of you, and they turn the corner, you have no idea which way they go. And if they go the right way, or they go the wrong way.
I know.
So you just don't know.
Yeah.
And especially,
some of them, sometimes it looks like that's where you're supposed to go. And that's actually where a scare actor is supposed to jump out at you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's something in front of you. And
yeah.
it's like, where do I go now?
But that's the great thing about these houses. That's a part of the experience too. Mm-hmm. So that is one way for you to be able to immerse yourself into the actual house itself. So if you do get lost a little bit and the scare actors do help you, that's great.
Yes.
But we're not saying go in there and get lost, but I mean, if it happens, they will help you get to where you need to be.
Yes. The other thing that I want to challenge you, any of you that happen to go and do this house, I challenge you, how many Michael Myers are there in this house?
I know there was a lot.
When you go through it, you'll understand why I'm challenging you on that.
Yeah, there is a lot in them. I can tell you that.
So, on to house number 2.
Yes.
Spirits of the Coven. Now, according to the HHN website, a coven of beautiful flapper witches will lure you into their 1920s speakeasy, reveal their haggish true form, and turn your scream squad into a witch's brew. They'll be cackling, but you'll be screaming. Sorry, not a witch. Not yet, anyway. Not that I'm letting anybody know.
Not yet. What are you practicing on the side? Hopefully,
maybe.
I see you flying on a broom. Meaning you're gonna have some words.
Oh, don't be like that. So this is a house that I was actually really excited about, like that I would want to go to. I love that 1920s, the speakeasy, the flapper costumes and stuff. I'm like, man, this is going to be a really neat one. Get her a broom. Thanks, Mike. I'm looking for the Nimbus 2000 or maybe even the Firebolt, so you can get those.
Hey, I know where I can get one of those.
Yeah. So this is one, like, I'm like, oh yes, this would be a great one. Mm-hmm. Like, this is my kind of thing. It's gotten mixed reviews.
Yeah.
And it has beautiful set design. I mean, it's Universal Orlando. They're going to have fantastic sets anywhere. Mm-hmm. But definitely some jump scares and things here and there. But I don't think it came across quite as well as what they were hoping for. So if you have to skip one, if you only have one night and you don't have an express pass, you're only going to hit maybe 2 to 5 houses. Mm-hmm. I would skip this one and maybe make it your number 6 or number 7.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it went as quite as planned. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean that as it goes on, it's not going to get better.
Oh, yeah.
Because they tweak things, they do different things and stuff throughout the season so that these houses, they just get better and better and better. So this one might, even though it didn't get the best reviews this weekend on opening weekend, it might be one of the best ones by the end of the scare season.
Yep.
So, did you have anything to say about that one?
I really like all the costumes and stuff. I mean, from what I've seen so far, the theming on it, it's good. Yeah. But I kind of agree with you. It's probably, I would put it at the end of the night. Like, if you got time, go ahead and do it. But I wouldn't make it like number 1 priority. Halloween, right there, the first one.
Yeah, that one's a priority.
Yeah, that would be the one the first one. So, all right, next one.
The next one, Dead Man's Pier, Winter's Wake.
Wow. Okay. First of all, let me interrupt you. I've seen this one. Okay. I was blown away by the visual. Oh man, it just everything they did in it. It just like this would be like number 2.
Without giving any spoilers away, this one you have to go see if
Yeah.
you are the least bit interested in set design and storytelling and any of that.
Yeah.
You're going to have your scares too, but this one is one of those that you're going to walk into and you are literally going to be transported into a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah. It just, I can't give away too much, but you guys got to get a hold of it so you can get down there to go see it. I mean,
So
this is one of those.
Let me read the description that they gave on the HHN
Go ahead.
website. In a New England fishing village, undead fishermen emerge from the waves to seek their revenge. You and your Scream Squad may have escaped the hooks in the scare zone. Now they'll reel you in and drag you under. And this actually brings up a good point too. The scare zones this year, they are extensions of the houses that there are. So I thought that was really interesting. So for instance, there's actually a witch with the Witch's Brew cauldron, and she is phenomenal.
Yes.
I've seen like TikToks and stuff of her.
Is she the one
she's viral.
Like still the real tall one?
No. She's the one that's on her own stage, and she's got the big
her. Okay.
the big cauldron next to her.
Okay.
But she is phenomenal, and she's outside, like in the scare zone that's close to Spirits of the Coven. So that was really cool how they brought that out for people to see. For like me, that's a scaredy cat and maybe like, you know what, I can't handle anymore, but I still want to see some stuff. So I thought that was really cool how they're handling that this year. Obviously, Dead Man's Pier, they're doing something very similar. And I know that I had said originally, I'm like, ooh, whoop-de-doo, like if Dead Man's Pier Winter's Wake, I hope it has good air conditioning, you know? I mean, I did say that a few weeks ago when we were talking about these. But this would probably be my favorite one to go and do because of the set design and everything that's involved in it.
Yeah.
And this one actually has a pretty elaborate backstory, which I'm going to go ahead and share with you because I don't think it's going to spoil anything. So basically, there's this girl, a young woman in this fishing village, and she's had it, like she's getting ready to throw herself into the ocean and just end everything. And the ghost pirates convince her to play one last song on her violin. And so she's playing her violin, and it stirs them so much that they come to the village to seek revenge for what the village has done to her. So I just, I got chills. Ooh. So very, very cool how they bring all of that together.
I wish we could talk about it. I mean, really, I do. There's so many little details about that one house.
Yeah.
That is just, wow, mind blowing. I mean, some of the technology they put into it was just, Yep. Oh man, I'm like I said, not a big scare fan, but
that one we would do over and over again.
I would go see.
I wouldn't even care about the scares because I would just be so in awe of what I'm looking at. I'd just be like, "Oh, hi."
It kind of reminds you. It kind of reminded me. I don't know about you, but it kind of reminded me of a famous haunted ride at Walt Disney World. A little bit.
Maybe a little bit. It puts me a little bit in the mind of the movie Ghost Ship for any of you that have happened to see that one.
Never thought about that. Yeah.
So, but definitely check it out.
Yeah. All right, let's move on before we end up telling them about it.
Okay. Number 4 is the Fiesta de Chupacabra. For those of you that don't already, go over and watch Rick's Flicks, if for no other reason to see him butcher Chupacabra every single time he tries to say it. He can't. It's the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. And I almost feel bad for him. But at this point, I think it's just a joke. So he's like, whatever. I can't say it, so I'm just going to go with it. But anyway, their description on this. Visit a Latin village where the legend of the creature chupacabras is celebrated with a colorful fiesta. And streets are lined with the crimson blood of tourists like you and your amigos. So the reason why I think this is so interesting is basically the locals, the town folk, have made this deal where once a year they sacrifice these tourists to the chupacabra so that the chupacabra doesn't in turn eat them or their livestock, yada yada. And so that's where it comes in at, and it's really interesting to me. There is a lot of authentic things in there. If you read Spanish at all, you're going to see certain things and you're going to be like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, that's not that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's in Spanish, and you would read it and go, oh, I don't want to be here. And then just the different things and stuff involved, as well as their version of a chupacabra you may or may not see, depending on your walkthrough. So I hope you have fun with that one. It was definitely one I was really excited about. A couple of others I think have pushed it kind of down the list for things I was excited about, but it's still really neat.
To me, the story of the Chupacabra, the real original story, is a mythical creature that comes out. It sucks the blood out of the goats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just, to me, this
took
house
a little bit too much of a creative on it.
It did. It made it into, there's no such thing as that I know of. There's no such thing as a festival for the Chupacabra.
No,
but they wouldn't made it that way. I mean, it's okay. I don't know. I mean, I feel that it could have been a little bit better. And the description and the way they made the Chupacabra look, it's not really how folklore tells the story.
Right.
So it was that one I was a little disappointed in, because I was expecting something like really cool, but
yeah.
I would go do it just to say I did it, but
here's the description I'm going to give you as far as this house goes. So when the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban came out, I was so excited, could not wait to watch this movie because it's one of my favorite books. We watch it, and then when spoiler alert, Professor Lupin becomes a werewolf, I'm like, that's not a werewolf. I don't like it. I was so mad at what they did with Professor Lupin's werewolf.
Yep.
That's kind of how I feel with this one, because I had this big thing in my head, and then I look at it and I'm like,
yeah, it just,
you let me down a little bit. That's not what I had in my head. Yeah. Very, very anticlimactic.
I wasn't impressed with this one. So it's I don't know. That would probably, if I had to do it, it would be number 10 on my list.
Oh, really? It's that low?
I mean, I'm not impressed with it.
Well, that's good to know. I have a few that I just had no interest in going into. So now the next one, and this is one that I probably would not have any interest in going into because it's not my thing. Hell Block Horror. Enter a prison whose savage inmates are monstrous creatures. If they break free from their cells, it's a death sentence for everyone. So at the beginning, you have them in you could see some different things, and then it's like, okay, are they in their cells? Are they not in their cells and stuff? Yeah. Honestly, I'd rather just go to the West Penn Penitentiary and do a ghost tour there. That would be more interesting to me because it would be more real and more like, this I'm kind of just like, okay.
Yeah, this I wasn't impressed with this one either. It just
now. The interesting thing that I found out about this house is it is actually a recreate. They had started building this, and the deal fell through. It was supposed to be an intellectual property. It was supposed to be the Evil Dead house. And they didn't get to do the Evil Dead house, so they had to pivot and do something with it, and this is what they came up with. So from that perspective, I think they did a really good job because they had to make it enough unlike something, unlike the Evil Dead, that they couldn't get into copyright issues.
When you put it that way, I kind of see your point.
So props to the team for that.
Yeah.
But regardless, I don't know if that would necessarily be something I would be into. The other thing I want to caution people with on this one is you're going to want to watch the strobe lighting. So if you are photosensitive, this is not going to be a good one for you because there is a lot of strobe lighting, and there's actually 3 that we've seen. 2 were discussed exclusively. The third one I just want to add in eventually. But you want to be really careful with the strobe lighting in here.
Yeah, I think that was the one when we were watching it the other night I
actually walked out.
I actually had to get up and walk away because it was just mess. Yeah. Well, it's on a 55-inch screen, so I mean it's huge, but I was just like I had to get away. It was just it was starting to give me a headache, and I was getting a little bit of motion sickness from it. So that's the other thing you got to watch for with some of these houses and stuff. Yeah. And the great thing is they disclose that before you go in.
Oh, yes.
They make sure you understand that there's a lot of not flash photography, strobe lights that's inside of this, this house.
Whether there's flashing, bangs, things like that.
Yeah.
They give you kind of a listing at the beginning of certain things, just like when you're riding a roller coaster or something. These are the things that you may experience. If you are sensitive to any of them, we suggest you don't do it.
Exactly.
So covering their bases as well as yours.
Yeah.
So the next house is the Horrors of Blumhouse. And this one was interesting. Yeah. So their description on the HHN website, get ready for a blood-curdling double new feature of Blumhouse horror as your Scream Squad faces a ruthless serial killer in Freaky and an evil kidnapper and the relentlessly terrifying Black Phone. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this, you can actually get Peacock, and you can watch the Blumhouse Horrors of Blumhouse on there so that you can get caught up. And I highly recommend that you do that on any of these like intellectual properties so that you have an idea of what's happening. Yeah. It's going to help you out a lot. Yeah. So. Well,
and we always even recommend to, even not just with the scare houses and stuff, we recommend to our clients and stuff that when you're leaving to go to Universal Studios, make sure you like watch the movies that are there, like Jurassic Park and Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, it's a good way to get
Harry
you
Potter.
Prepped and excited about.
So that way, when you get there and when you see certain things, you're like, oh yeah, that's part of that movie, and
And when you do a vacation with us, I actually give you a list so that they're more specific to the things that you're going to see. Because, for instance, if you're going to Universal Orlando Resort, it's going to be completely different than when you go out to California at the Hollywood version. Yes. So, but yeah, now some comments I have about this one. I don't have a lot. I think it's a very interesting house, double feature house. They've never done anything like that before. Yeah. I will say that Freaky does end very abruptly. Like you think you're in the middle of the house and then all of a sudden you're outside. So kind of be prepared for that. And Black Phone is definitely the better of the two. Again, make sure that you watch them on Peacock so that you have an idea of what these are. Yep. And I think that if you're kind of into that, you're really going to enjoy it. Yeah. I probably would not be into Freaky at all, but the Black Phone, that one actually kind of piqued my interest a little bit. Unfortunately, I'd have to go through Freaky in order to get to Black Phone, and I might just be so like, I'd be like, all right, get me out of here. So the double feature thing may not be in my best interest, but for people that are into
outside.
It, I know. Oh my God, I got to do another one. I thought I'd get a break.
I gotta pee.
So number 7. Number 7 is the nope on the list. Just not doing it. It's Bugs Eaten Alive.
Yep. And if that doesn't make your skin crawl already, before we even start talking about it. Wow. Okay. First of all, before you even get into it, I watched some of these people go through it. And some of the stuff they were seeing, dude, like, I was like, I'm sitting in like, oh my, it's on me. It's on me. Like, I was creeped out, and I just couldn't imagine what they were going through, like literally inside the houses when they were getting,
yeah.
Like, gosh.
So the description on the website, while touring a 1950s home of the future, you'll be surrounded by the slime of bugs everywhere as hordes of many-legged terrors descend upon you and your Scream Squad. You'll be dropping like flies. Stop it. Hi, Amy. Ugh. So.
That wasn't towards you, Amy. It was because I was doing this.
Okay. So the premise of this particular house is you're going into this 1950s home. It's a home of the future. Back in that era, that was very much a thing where the newest and best appliances. And this newest appliance, hi there, sorry, I'm like, don't worry about it, Amy. We're having a blast, and we're glad that you could join us. So, and hopefully you don't like get off of here right away because of what you happen to walk in on. Bugs Eaten Alive. So basically, this newest and greatest thing that they've come up with in this 1950s house is the Exterminator, which basically is supposed to get rid of all of the bugs and everything that's could be in your house, and it goes horribly wrong. And instead of just like getting rid of them, they multiply. I'm sure some are huge. Like I literally stop it. I literally was kind of like this halfway through, like watching some of these, because I'm like, I can't do it. And I'm not necessarily terrified of bugs. It was just that the sound, I think, was what got me more than anything. Ugh.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit short, but it does have a very good set design. I'm glad that it's short, because for people that are like, I don't know, at least it's going to be a little bit shorter for them so they can get in and get out.
Yep.
Because I'm sure that this one, they have to have some panic doors.
Yep.
And the other thing I will say, without giving too much away, it is a full 360 experience.
Sorry, I'm just thinking in my head, I would, there'd be a Scotch-shaped hole in some wall down there, because I'd be busting out like Kool-Aid, man. Boom, I'm gone.
Oh, that's just a funny, no.
I wouldn't be yelling Kool-Aid, I'd be yelling, hell no!
Oh my. So definitely, that's a nope in our book. I mean, if you want to go do it, by all means, but no.
Yeah, I'd have to be a little bit. I'd have to have a couple drinks in me to go do that one, I think.
I would have to be almost blitzed out of my mind to do that one. I'm not even going to lie. I'd have to be at that point where I just need to go to bed. That'd be the only way, because I wouldn't remember it the next day. So number 8, Descendants of Destruction. This is another one that I was kind of like, It really reminded me of Hell Block Horror. I don't know exactly why, but I'm just like,
it looked similar to it.
Yeah, it wasn't really like a, ooh, this is cool kind of thing. It's not our kind, like, granted, we're horror wimps, but it's not our kind of thing anyway. We don't like those post-apocalyptic stuff. I mean, like, I Am Legend was probably about the closest to post-apocalyptic that we really got into. And even that one. That's the one with
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Oh, I thought you did see it.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
So, anyway.
I'll have to watch it.
The description on this one. Careful not to leave any of your Scream Squad behind as you descend the subway tunnels of a deserted New York. Lurking in the dark are hungry mutants looking to feast on the last remnants of humanity. So, again, I don't really have too much to say on this one. If you're into that kind of stuff, definitely. If not, I would skip it. I mean, that would be one I would skip personally.
Yeah, me too.
But it's it does have really interesting set design. I will give it
that.
It does. There's definitely some jump scares in there that you're going to enjoy if you're into that kind of stuff. So take it as you will.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say just because it's not our cup of tea.
Yeah.
Now, the last 2.
Yeah.
The Weeknd. I will be honest. I'm listening to his stuff because I was like, okay, like, I think I know who he is. I listen to a lot of artists and I don't always know who they are. And then I hear, like, I'm like, oh, that's who did that song. I really like that song. But this one, I had no idea. Like, it's freaky. So the description on the website, you love his music, but can you survive his mind? Boy, I feel that all the time. The Weeknd is about to stalk your squad through this haunted house, a surreal living nightmare from his after-hours videos. His nightmare is now yours. So, first off, you really need to watch his music videos if you're going to be doing this house. That's going to make things so much more clear for you. And this one was a really, really cool house. Like, honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be. And without too many spoilers in it, you're going to see some things that I'm kind of like I'm personally not as into. I think I can say this because it's on the movie poster, like it's on the poster and stuff for The Weeknd, like when you're looking at anything. But there's people that have like the full like gauze face and stuff because of plastic surgery or whatever. We've seen those in other scare zones and other houses and stuff before. There's a lot of them that's in there, and that's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But they do it in such a way, the house itself, that yeah, there might be some of them in there, but you really don't. That's not the focal point.
Right.
And as you're going through, it consistently just goes, wait, what? Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, what? Okay, I need to get out of here. Like it's interesting. And I think it's definitely well worth going and checking out.
Oh yeah.
And this is another one that you should watch for the strobe lights because there is a lot of strobe lights. And to go back to the bugs eaten alive, that's another one with the strobe lights that I would be careful about.
Yeah.
Because we saw quite a few. That one wasn't specifically mentioned in some of the videos that I watched, but from us watching it together, I'm like, no, there's a lot in there that people should be aware of. What did you think?
It was different. I would literally have to go through and watch the videos to kind of understand the artist's point, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it would definitely be one I would like to check out. I mean, I don't know if it would be probably one of my top ones, but it would be one I would go do.
Okay.
It was just, like I said, I have to watch some of the videos to understand the artist.
Okay.
Just because it's one of those things that I'm kind of like, why'd they do that? You know. But if I watch it, and then I would be able to understand it, and be like, okay, well, that makes sense.
Right.
So, but I would do it.
You would do it?
Yeah, I'd do it.
Okay. So now the very last house, this is another really cool one. This is one, hands down, I would do just so I could see the set design.
Yep.
This is Universal Monsters Legends Collide. Now on their website, it states, if you thought one Universal monster was scary, how about 3? Summon your Scream Squad, because you're about to get caught between the Wolfman, Dracula, and the Mummy together for the first time.
Yep.
Ooh.
All right, you want to start?
This one is cool. I really, really like the original, like not the original, but the old school monsters and stuff. I think that's just a very cool thing. And when you're going through, you're actually going to be seeing different scenes like depicted from the movies. So you're going to get to see like ancient Egyptian because of the Mummy. You're going to be going, you're going to see like the woods and be inside the woods and stuff because of the Wolfman. You're going to be in a castle at some point because of Dracula. Like, and the way they put it all together was really flawless. Like trying not to give too much away, but it's just wow. The set design on this thing. It was my second favorite house as far as set design goes. The first being the Dead Man's Pier.
Yep.
And at the end of it, and I feel like I can share this because it's everywhere, one of them wins. And so every night it's going to be a different winner. Yep. So you might see Dracula winning. You might see the Mummy. You might see Wolfman. You just don't know. On the very first night, it was the Mummy. Mm-hmm. And so it's really cool how they pull all that together. I think Dracula was my favorite monster in there based off of how he did his scares and such. Yeah. So what do you think?
Well, you probably took everything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. First of all, let me just say the old time monsters, I'll agree with you 100%. There's something about the nostalgic of being able to see the old time stuff, you know, and to be able to bring that back to life and have a house for it and then have 3 of them together. That's really great. I really love that. The Mummy, I was waiting for Brandon Fraser to jump out somewhere. I really was. The set design, it really reminded me of the ride The Mummy right there at Universal Studios.
Yeah, exactly.
Dracula, we were in the castle. I mean, it was, the theming was so cool. Mm-hmm. This is one of those that I would definitely want to go do just because of the set design. This is another one of those that I would love to see during the daytime.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And see what they've done and how they did it. And then go back at the nighttime and do an RIP tour so I can go through it and see it and really get to experience it. But the Wolfman.
I know.
Dude, like they knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah.
The costume for him is just phenomenal.
It's amazing.
It really looks like the Wolfman. I mean, like it's brought to life, like literally in front of you. So this is one that I would, I said Halloween first. This would be my number 2 choice.
Really? Okay.
Because I would love to go see the monsters and the legends and stuff. I mean, I haven't been a fan of them, but I always liked the older stuff anyway, because it was, there was more time and detail put into those older movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have CG, it's all done by computers and stuff, and idiots like, my son JT, but that's another story. But anyway, but I mean, these are people that actually went in and did makeup for like 4 or 5 hours before they started acting out the scenes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They had all the makeup on them and everything. So there's a lot more creativity that went into the older ones.
And it's groundbreaking creativity, because it paved the way for what we have now.
Right. It did. It paved the way for the CG graphics that JT's working to learn how to do and stuff. So
if you're into film study at all, which I'd say I took a film study course when I was in college, and there's certain films that I'm really, really into, because that's just, I like that kind of stuff. I like learning about the groundbreaking things, and why this was so monumental for what we have now.
Yep.
But it's almost a forgotten film. So that's kind of where we're coming from on this Legends Collide. It's love it.
It definitely, from everything that I've seen in the video, I mean, obviously when you go through the house, it's going to look a lot different than what it is in the videos and stuff that you're seeing. But it really brought the characters to life. So it was Halloween and that 1 and 2 right there.
Okay.
So
interesting. Would you have a number 3?
Yeah, I would go to the
Dead Man's Spear.
Dead Man's Spear. Thank you.
Okay.
That would be my 3rd one.
So if I was going to rank mine, like top 3 that I would want to go and do, I think Dead Man's Spear would be my number 1.
Okay.
I think that Universal Monsters would be my number 2. And then, probably The Weeknd, surprisingly.
Wow. Okay.
I would want to see that one.
That.
I assumed, like, before all this started, I thought Spirits of the Coven and Fiesta de Chupacabra would be like the number 1s, but not as much as what I thought they would.
To be honest with you, when I first heard the list, I expected the Fiesta de Chupacabra was going to be my number 1 pick, but after going through and watching it, I just I mean, it might be different when if we got down there and got to see it live in person, it might be totally different, but.
And part of the reason why we decided to go ahead and watch these lives is because we do have people traveling down wanting to do this, and they're trying to do things as unspoiled as possible, which is why we're attempting to do this unspoiled. Hopefully we're doing an okay job on that.
We're leaving a lot out.
But also, we're not going to be able to go down this year. We're actually, when we will be down there, it'll be right after.
Yep.
That's just how our schedule worked this year.
Yeah, it'll be in the transition from Halloween to Christmas.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we will be right in the middle of it, so we won't get to see the Christmas transition.
No.
So, but hey, that's all right.
Hey, we're going to have a great time while we're down there.
That's right.
We're going to be doing a lot of site visits and such.
Yep.
So, didn't really touch on them, and I know that we're coming up about 50 minutes or so now. So let's just very briefly go over the scare zones and also the 2 shows. And I'm actually going to borrow Scott's phone because I need to verify the scare zones because I didn't write them down. Oopsies.
See how she is.
So.
Well, while she's doing that, don't forget, guys, like what we said at the beginning of the show, we are putting together a great big group to go down to Universal in March. If you guys are interested in going with us, we would love for you guys to go. We've already got a couple groups that are really seriously looking into going with us. And it's going to be a good time. I've got some old buddies of mine and friends of mine that I used to go to school with that are definitely looking to go. If you guys want to come along and hear some hilarious stories about me when I was growing up in my younger years, and it'd be a good time to go. But we're going to put this together, and if you guys are interested, you can comment below right there at the YouTube channel. You could also give us send us an email or a text, or you can instant message us in Facebook, whichever prefer to do. We'd be glad to talk to you. And if you guys have any questions about traveling and stuff, whether it's about cruising, going to all inclusives, or going to Walt Disney World, or going to Universal Studios, whether East Coast or West Coast, doesn't matter. Just shoot us a message. We love talking travel. Like we said earlier in tonight's show, we did meet this nice couple that was in the Sam's Club parking lot.
Yes.
And we started talking to them, and they're going to get a hold of us here in the next day or two about going to an all-inclusive in Mexico.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and to be honest with you, like I said, we just love talking travel. It doesn't matter where we're at, what are we doing. We could be in the middle of anything. We'll stop and we'll talk travel with you guys. So.
Oh, yes. Now, going ahead and getting back to the scare zones and everything. So there are 5 scare zones this year, which is pretty standard for Halloween Horror Nights. There is the Horrors of Halloween, Sweet Revenge, Conjure the Dark, Scarecrow, Cursed Soil, and Graveyard Deadly Unrest. Now, Horrors of Halloween is probably the coolest one.
Yeah.
And that is because they take basically little pieces of all of the other scare zones and they bring them together underneath of the Pumpkin Lord.
Yep.
And I just love him.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that he farts on you and laughs.
He does.
I'm
does.
convinced.
I'm telling you, that's what he's doing, because he looks like he's ripping a big one, and
then
like
all the fog comes out.
Fog comes out, and he goes, and I'm like, that'd be something I'd be doing too. So, except it wouldn't be fog.
So, basically the Pumpkin Lord crop dusts you as you're walking by.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what all of that is.
Yeah. I think he even belches too, like once or twice. Like, it's kind of weird, but anyway.
Yeah, this is also where you're going to find a little Boo. He's a little easier to find in the daytime. He's with all of the pumpkins. It's hung up everywhere. So make sure you take your time to find him. And then Sweet Revenge is another scare zone. And basically they have transformed all of these sweet little children into these sugar crazed little monsters
and the kids
stuff.
that's out riding the little tricycles. Damn, they're creepy looking little things. Damn.
So, and then there's Mr. Sweets, and I can't remember the other one's name, but they're like, "Would you like some candy?" And I'm like, "No, thank you." Like,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take
stranger
candy.
danger, stranger danger.
Why is there a baseball bat beside my head?
Then Conjure the Dark, that has the witch that I was mentioning earlier. Yes. She has a phenomenal little skit that she does. So if you happen to see her out on her stage, make sure you go. Where is Linda Blair? I have no idea. Am I missing something with that?
I don't know, Dad.
So now...
not in the scare zones or anything, so...
No. Now, Conjure the Dark, that is one that I would actually find really, really cool. You do have witches walking around. Some of them are really high on stilts, things like that. So it's a unique one. I like that one, and that's kind of my kind of spooky.
Yeah.
I like the witches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
why do you keep going back to witches? You trying to tell me something?
No.
Yeah.
So the next one is Scarecrow, Cursed Soil. They have this one actually in the New York section, which is like perfect.
Yeah, it works really well with that.
And of course, you've got demented scarecrows running around, and there's one that is brandishing an ear of corn at you, of all things. And I'm just like, okay.
The devil made her do it. Okay.
Oh.
Linda Blair, the devil made her do it.
Nope, not this time. She might be out in California, though. I haven't looked to see what their stuff is out there. I know that they have the 4 intellectual properties that we do: Halloween, Weekend, Universal Monsters, Legends Collide, and what was the 4th one? No. Blumhouse. Horrors of Blumhouse. I don't know why I forgot that one. So, but I don't know what their 6 original houses are out there.
Yeah.
And then Graveyard Deadly Unrest. This is Nettlewood Cemetery. It is actually down the stretch of road that is, no matter, I don't want to see her. That's funny, Deb. I like that a lot. So the Graveyard Deadly Unrest, that is down the Sunset Boulevard. It's a really interesting place. She doesn't have a stick neck. God, stop it, you two. And what I really like about this one, it's creepy at night. I will give them that. They've got these scare actors and stuff that pop out at you. It's really unique. But also, like during the day, I've seen where Scooby and the gang will be out, and like for one thing, it was just Shaggy and I think Velma or something. And so they're like, "Hey, like what's going on? Like, where's Scooby?" and stuff like that. And like Shaggy's just having the big one with, "Oh my God, I'm in the graveyard," and stuff. And like, they're really having fun with it. And I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like the mystery. I love pea soup. No, you don't. Stop it. It's really, stop it. I think this is so cool that they're really taking this set that's there. I mean, because obviously they can't take everything out during the day.
Right.
And like Scooby and the gang is out on a mystery.
Yeah.
Like it's the coolest thing how they're doing improv and stuff because of all of the set and stuff that they have in Nettlewood Cemetery. Now for the live shows, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know a thing about them because I haven't watched anything. We got so engrossed in houses that I really haven't seen any footage or anything. I hate that movie.
Yep. I agree with you, Mom. I hate it too.
But I'm sure that it's good. Now, the Halloween Nightmare Fuel Wildfire, that was basically an elaboration of the show from last year.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's going to be really good. And then Ghoulish, A Halloween Tale. I did see somebody say, "Oh my gosh, I love Rihanna in this." And I'm like, "What, Rihanna?" And so I'm really intrigued. I'm looking forward to seeing it whenever somebody decides to post something about it. And if it's something really, really exciting, I'll bring it up at some point during our lives.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
But unfortunately, I ran out of time and I got sucked into the houses. So I apologize for that. So with all that, I think we're done talking about Horror Nights for this evening, unless you had something else that you wanted to share.
Well, I really don't. It's I don't. I really don't. It's just I hate the fact that we're not going to be able to be down there in time to be able to enjoy some of this and hang out and have some fun with it. But it's never too late for you guys. Unfortunately, it's too late for me because I can't get time off from work. So if I could, I would. Trust me, I would be down there. Yeah. But you guys, if you're definitely interested in doing it, like Megan said at the beginning of the show, you need to get a hold of us because it is filling up fast.
Yes, it is.
And that's not only just here at Universal, it's also over at Disney World too for the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. If you guys are interested in doing that with the little ones and stuff,
can't do it on Halloween weekend.
No, it's sold out completely. But if you are definitely
ironically,
interested,
we are going to be there for that.
Yes, we will be there for that one, but we won't be doing the trick or treating.
Yeah, but look out, multi-brawl.
You mean Mardi Gras? Okay.
I'm glad you can speak Debisms. That one kind of messed me up a little bit.
Mardi Gras is definitely going to be a fun time, and that's when we go in March. So if you guys are interested in going and hanging out for the Mardi Gras party, which the parades, the floats, get some beads thrown at you, and it's a PG one, so you don't have to show anything.
Exactly. And also all of the food. Oh my gosh. If you were into Cajun at all, it is a fantastic place to go.
Yes.
You can have seafood broil. You can do all kinds of different things there.
Yes.
Dang, did it again. So definitely, absolutely love that. We are going to be there the first full week of March. So March 4th through the 11th, I believe, is when we will be there. Obviously, you don't have to be with us for the entire trip. You can go for the first weekend, the second weekend, because we're kind of doing like a Saturday to Sunday kind of thing.
Yep.
So you can do that. You can do midweek with us. Whatever you guys choose to do.
Just get a hold of us.
Just get a hold of us.
Yeah.
We would love to have you guys join us. I'd love to show you all of my little tips and tricks and fun things to do. I'd love to go screaming on Hagrid's with you if that's something that you want to do.
Yep.
I'm super excited about it and can't wait to have you guys join us on a true plum crazy adventure during Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando Resort.
Plum crazy adventure. The group Plum Crazy Adventure. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're definitely
the
interested,
Plum Crazy
get a hold of us.
Posse.
Yes. Yes. But,
and I said posse, not possum, Jesse. If you happen to watch the replay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you crazy girls.
No,
Anyway. Well, guys, we've had a lot of fun tonight. It is 9 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and say good night for the night.
Yes.
Don't forget to join us next week, where I do believe our special guest will be actually joining us next week.
Yes, he's supposed to be free next week.
We'll be discussing some things about cruising and some different ways of overcoming motion sickness and what you can do and what the medical officers actually on the boats help you do.
Exactly.
To make your trip a little more enjoyable for you. So if you guys are interested in that, don't forget to check us out next week. Same time, same place, right here on Plum Crazy Adventures page.
Yes, and if you haven't done so already, make sure that you like us up there on Facebook and follow us up there. Also, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Also, hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to go stand on the corner and need money. I cannot believe I just read that on there, Mike.
Okay.
Bad.
Okay.
Bad. So definitely make sure that you have subscribed, hit that like button, and also hit the bell notification button so that you can see more crazy streams like this. You get to see my Polynesian Village Resort when it comes up on Thursday, and whatever else that we get into over the next couple of weeks before we go on our big adventure out to the beaches of Virginia and North Carolina.
Yes.
So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you are subscribed and you're following us both on Facebook, Instagram. I do a lot of stories, so you're going to see those a lot. And then also over here on YouTube as well.
Yes. And don't forget to tell your friends and family about us too, and tell them to come like us. And when we're done tonight, this will be shared to our Facebook page. If you guys like the video, take it and share it to your Facebook page so that way other people will actually get to see the video and start following us more. So, and for all of you that are following us on YouTube and on Facebook, thank you. We do appreciate it. We appreciate all the love and support that we're getting from everybody. And we appreciate everybody that's calling and booking vacations from us. So, so with all that being said, guys, we're going to get out of here. Are you guys ready for your next Plum Crazy adventure?
Because we're ready to get you there.
We'll see you guys next week. Talk to you then. Bye,
Have
everyone.
A spooky evening.
Blah.